Hey everyone. It's great to be here, and speaking of frequencies and increasing the frequency in this place, what do you think about a short playful exercise? When I say Forza, you say Roma. Forza! 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 Hey, okay. Hey, good to see you. Again, very happy to be here and excited that this is finally happening. For some time, we have been dreaming about having hubs and bringing together all of these people in, sometimes it's all about being in the right place at the right time with the right people. And I think this is something that we can systematize. There is serendipity, but if we look at the coffee shops during the Renaissance, the previous Renaissance, that was a nexus, a place where people can meet, exchange ideas, and half of a bake idea with half of a bake idea, bam, something that changes paradigms. So today I prepared for you a brief journey through some key moments that brought us here today, and hopefully by the end we also maybe some ideas where we could go tomorrow. And similar to how we started the presentation before, I am here with just a few members of the Akasha team, but we are many, and if we also would include all the people in the Akasha Barcelona, and this slide would go even bigger. But this is just to say that this is a team effort, and there are many things at play here. Technology is one of them. We also have this physical hubs interaction, and besides this, we are doing also some interesting legal hacking, so to say, exploring how the legal part could be upgraded, so we don't box the technology into obsolete concepts, but we seek to push it forward in ways that don't get you to jail. I will agree, and I like the note that Limona ended on, that some people, when they say Ethereum, they might be thinking smart contracts, solidity, lines of code, or money, programmable money, or NFTs, or meme coins. But but it's also about people and communities, right? And I think many times if someone came for the technology, they stayed for the people. And there is this welcoming community, welcoming spirit that really makes you want to stay. And this is, maybe, I mean, not maybe, I am for sure subjective when I say this. But for me, Ethereum is one of the nicest communities of people in the blockchain space. I'm not saying it's the number one, there are many, but it's definitely in the top there. Welcoming, friendly, and also not always cutting your idea at the root, that cannot work. Or our one is the truth and the other are all shitcoins or stuff like that. So pluralism was something that was inspired also by Vitalik since the early days. And this is, like a sketch that I did in a blog post around 2019 or 20, before the pandemic hit, where I was saying that Ethereum's most undervalued capital is not on any coin market cap charts or on any GitHub repositories, and that it's social capital. Now, I don't like the idea of capital when you put social next to it, because it's about human relations, and I don't like flattening the human multidimensionality into just something that's about value, but it is a way to depict that these interactions have value, right? And they are valuable. And I think a key part of, or an integral part of what made Ethereum as successful as it is today was this self-organizing community of communities, organizing meetups, exchanging ideas, bringing all kinds of prototypes, hackathons, and things to life. Like Urbe, in a way, right? And this is also to say that we often get trapped into putting horse glasses on and saying that it's one thing or another. It's fintech, it's DeFi, it's memes or NFTs or programmable, Turing complete, but probably it's going to be even more things in the future, and that's what I'm saying. I think we are still scratching the surface of what this world computer can be. You know, maybe in 10 years from now, we will say, oh, how little did we know 10 years ago? And even now we say, oh, we know so much more than 10 years ago. So I think this is going to be increasing, and also as we have this scalability thing, you know, solved, you know, almost 10 years later, still working on it. I think also more and more use cases will become viable that were previously not. And to go back, you know, a flash to the past, you might have seen this a few times. This is the place where we banked in Switzerland. In the beginning, we went there, couch surfed, you know, random strangers, mattress in the living room. Hey, well, what are you doing? Hey, have you heard of Bitcoin, blockchain, all of this? Some of them actually thanked us later. It's like, thank you for telling me about Bitcoin. Reach out on, to her, you know, it's like he was super happy. He probably bought some. And also Ethereum and so on. So let's say life-changing for everyone. And after that, we upgraded. We Airbnb'd for a while, and in the meantime, we, you know, interacted with lawyers here and there, tried to educate them. You know, it's like, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? No. Have you heard of BitTorrent? No. Okay. So, you know, go to the basics. After we made them understand and so on. Okay, we understand Bitcoin. Great. Now, let me tell you about Ethereum. So here we go again. So that was, but in the meantime, we made great progress, and we felt that Switzerland was a great place to establish the legal entity, because in the meantime, there was also this aspect of various developers beginning to wonder, am I going to get in trouble for contributing to Ethereum? And, you know, this is 2014. Now it's a lot more legit. Banks do things, and big sport clubs are doing things and so on. Now it's accepted, or more accepted, or let's say, grayish. Before it was all about the black market, the, you know, what about the children? So just different, different landscape. And this was also an opportunity, and, you know, we were talking about this also with Lorenzo in his place in Barcelona, about this idea of holons. And, you know, holons are kind of like this idea of some middle ground between chaos and balance, with self-organizing, loosely aligned groups that somehow make it work, and they are maintaining their independence, but somehow they are still coherently moving towards one shared goal. And this was the perfect setup when it was like, man, we are gonna try this thing. So we have a place, we have this much space, we can live and work here. So how can we set it up? And this is inside the place, you know, humble beginnings, I say, but it was a nice place. Like the villa was great, even if we chose to just sleep on mattresses on the floor, because, you know, who had money for beds? We were postponing this after the crowd sale thing, which, you know, was, but we did not get beds even after that. We got used, you know, keeping it real. And here I was with Lorenzo talking about, by the way, just talking about lo-fi and, you know, making the most with the least. These are IKEA kitchen tops, and, you know, there under is like the things that you would cut the kitchen top on. And then, but the chairs were comfy, and, you know, good chairs are good because you spend many hours on them, and, you know, bed bags are not good for anything. And just to show here on the whiteboard, one of the things that we discussed there was this idea of, you know, you already see hubs, holons, need attention. And the idea was that we were already seeing Ethereum as an international community, or community of communities in different jurisdictions. And we were thinking how we can connect the dots, connect the people, connect the ideas, and leveraging these synergies across the network. And here we have an example with, you know, like a jurisdiction in Germany, a UK, Netherlands, you know, now you can say Italy, and how you would have like different skills spread across all of these jurisdictions. But the projects are not bound to one location. So for example, if you come up with a cool idea, I don't know, who can say a cool idea? Well, we'll get to that. So you come up with a cool idea and you say, oh man, okay, so we need a designer. We already have a programmer, but we need a designer and someone else to help us with. Is there someone in the network that would be interested in a project like this that would like to join? So then you would have, again, like this systematization of serendipity and alignment of the things that make you passionate and you want to join and have fun, right? Having fun is also a key element, I think, in all of this thing. And In the meantime, so this was 2014, in November 2013, Vitalik shared with me the earliest, well, one of the earliest drafts of Ethereum. It was not named Ethereum back then. And for me, it was like, whoa, I had like this, the meme with the universe and the exploding. That was when I was reading, and I knew I want to be part of this. I want to help him somehow making it a reality. And in January, I flew together with Roxana, Lorenzo, and a couple of others to Switzerland. I told you about the lawyers, the random couch surfing and all that. And by April, things were getting serious, So it's like we had a lot on our hands, and this was becoming like, man, we cannot do both. Like, Bitcoin magazine by day, Ethereum by night, the superhero cap and all that was not working, and we could feel that both are hurting. So this was like, okay, Ethereum must be. And here, I say about Hollands and how this evolves into a project of its own, and the rabbit hole keeps getting deeper. It feels like this journey is shaping out without any estimation of a return date and all the epic setup. The new chapter begins. So then, fast forwarding a few years later, because this was constantly expectations meet reality. Touching physical reality is a lot harder. Finding the right people, the right location, getting things together. I see what I'm talking about now. Bam! Akasha-powered hubs. It just took a few years, more than anticipated, but the work was weighted, right? So here is actually, there are a few pictures from the Akasha Barcelona hub where you have all of these cool things happening, and it's worth mentioning that each hub will have kind of its own DNA of sorts. So, for example, in this case, the Barcelona hub has multidisciplinary focus where you have also this co-gardening thing, and you have like 3D printing, food, art and science, and at the intersection of also blockchain and all of these other cool topics. I think this was also like one of those stories, like I don't have the cool one when I have the hands up. You have that cool one, but this is also nice. And this is about that serendipity that I mentioned. It's like our destinies might have crossed somewhere, sometime, at a conference, at an event, maybe, for sure, even. But having the Barcelona hub, reaching out, organizing the event, meeting there, being at the right time with the right people and so on, we clicked, So it was one of those things. Sometimes, when you meet someone and you have like, I don't like that guy. Here it was the opposite. It's like, I like those guys. It was, I don't know, good vibe, so to say, from the start. And here we talked about many things, including, DAOs, decentralized governance, and I like that these guys were walking the talk, not just saying, decentralization and, let's do a token. Although they could have pulled it off and, get away with it. So I appreciated that. And this is also because with Akasha, so to say, we, sometimes it's about not making certain decisions that says even more about someone. And with Akasha, providing this software where you can build your own social platforms and so on, we purposefully said we don't want to do a token because like communities might want to come up with their own models. And even if we would say, let's have units of account because that's what everyone says. I have more than you and you have less than me. Some might want to say, I don't know, we want to do time banking or we want to do some kind of other monetary system that we cannot even contemplate now. So better to leave that as a module that each community can do on its own. That's not to say Urbe coin coming soon, but just leaving the space that at some point, if there is some kind of innovative, groundbreaking, paradigm shifting idea, there could be a place for it here. And so we left that Barcelona event, shaking hands, high-fiving, hugging, and so on. And then we met a few months later at the ETH Bucharest. We also have ETH Bucharest here in the house, where we talked about social movements, blockchain, and how all of this can help, Web3 and so on, something along those lines. And before we got on stage and after we got on stage, Marco was also kind of like, hey, the hub and what we discussed, like, let's do it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Like, okay, let's see. Do you have a space? Yeah, we're looking. We'll make it. It was like, okay, it's going to take some time. But, here we are. Not too long ago with Urbe Hub, the first web in Italy. Woo! It's happening, It's happening. Insert the meme here with Bernie. Here, also what I want to say is like, why Rome? Because all roads lead to Rome. Everyone knows that. You don't need another explanation. And I also want to say that you can feel the rebel spirit here is still alive. You know, you need a bit of rebellion. And like, if the sign tells you to do something, you do the other thing because you do what you want, not what the sign says. And I got the feeling of this. It's like, okay, I'm in the right place. Like when I was entering, I came by car, by the way. When I got into Rome, you know, Rome, wow, you see, oh yes, we're entering Rome first time, whoa. And then, you know, you see the no klaxon, you know, the no honking sign. Less than a minute, 3 horns, kong, kong, kong. So it's like, okay, like people don't care about what the signs say. And also, when I took the drive here, you know, you have lines, and you know, I said like, good thing we arrived in time, but the taxi driver was like, not really caring about, you know, signaling left, right, and so on. It was like, I told my wife, Roxana here, is like, wow, this guy, man, oh, this is how you drive in Rome? Like, what do you mean? So what lane are we on? It's like, all of them. He was, he was driving in the middle, you know, maybe you want to go left, right, you know, good to have options. So anyway, that's about the rebel spirit, and like, if you have rules, they're more like guidelines that you choose to respect. But that's part of the fun, I guess. So with Urbe Hub, and this is, you know, let's say not a list that is final and of course just a starting point, what can we expect here? Prototyping, hackathons, events and meetups, things that already Limone covered, and then we have hacker houses and boot camps and all of these cool things, and pop-up cities or villages, I'm not sure now what we call them, but anyway, they're cool. It's a village or a city, I don't know, it's cool in any case. And many, many, many more things. And I saw also Limone has, let's say, a passion for music. I saw a cool picture there and I was like, damn, I didn't get to put it in the slide. But who knows, maybe as part of this, we'll even have rap battles. You know, Italy has this, it could be, you could even get an NFT for the winner. What I want to say here is that coming back a bit to the software, we talked more about the physical location and what this you know, facilitates. This is also the part where the software comes into place, we call, let's say, these platforms that you can build with Akasha Core worlds. So you can think of worlds like these customizable social platforms for your own needs. So you have like, you could also call them community platforms if you want, but they leverage Web3 technologies, IPFS, Ceramic, you know, Ethereum pluggable by default. And it's all about, let's say, re-envisioning what a community platform means, because many times we find ourselves using tools that were engineered for the Web2, you know, economy, where it was not about optimizing for the best collaboration and how you can facilitate the best flow of ideas in the community, or how you can get the right people to work on a certain idea. So this is how we can maybe think better tools for us to connect and do things together as a community. And again, I would like to say, let's not get too trapped on what is an app or how it works or the specific functionality, because we will likely discover many use cases that we cannot yet list. But the idea is to keep an open mind, and whenever we find ourselves using a tool and, you know, taking too many steps, that's usually a sign that we could probably do something better. Or, you know, instead of like constantly finding workarounds, we can simplify this and make it natural. Usually the best ideas are those that after you kind of, they take life in your head, is like, of course, how come things are not this way already? And this is just to say that the world built with Akasha Core would be this modular platform enabling community to self-organize, build and access distributed apps. And this evolution in Akasha in our journey came after a visit at the CERN laboratory in Geneva, when they were interested on how they could use this type of technology for the scientific community. That did not yet materialize, but it did offer us an insight that, man, maybe we need to take a more general approach, like building a sort of WordPress for social networks using blockchain technology. So here we are today, years later, thank you, sir, you know, maybe a seed from that birth of the www with Tim Berners-Lee carried forward. And speaking of how those use cases and the functionalities could live and be useful for, just on your phone or so, we have these extensions. So the extensions are things that could basically, in a modular way, extend the functionality in ways that you need. So if you need a ticketing system, or you need some kind of voting system or governance system and all that, you could build it, and then it would be accessible, with the mention that in this scenario, this would be something that constantly compounds. So if you build something for Urbe, you can rest assured that this would be also useful for other communities. And as part of this, one of the already inaugurated collaborations that we started together with Urbe / Builders Garden, as overlapping there, was also with Zuzalu and ECF building something for the Zuzalu community, because it's a strong overlap, right, in the ecosystem, nice people, cool ideas, and cool tech. And I'm not sure if it was yet merged, or it's, oh, nice, okay, no spoilers more. And that's just to say that this is the type of thing that can compound, so if that gets traction there, this could also be useful here, and so on and so forth. So in one community, this could be also interoperable with other communities. And like with the iPhone, if we, the classic, here you go, with the iPhone as a platform, the App Store and all of that stuff, that was, now it's like old and not new. They had to start with something. So you had, like the calling app, the messaging, the browser, and so on. So we did have to build some of these extensions ourselves with Akasha. And Antenna is kind of like this equivalent of having a feed where you can post things, and you can find the thing that has been posted, kind of basic. Think of like something like Twitter before it got axed. And with the key, let's say, twist, that the editor and the way you are composing the text is actually composed in a way that enables you to put functionality that is blockchain native. So, if you have something like a poll, on-chain voting, or, let's say you have some kind of prediction market bet, you could do all of these things from within the post without having to go, through 10 tabs and, sign 10 different messages with your MetaMask. So this is maybe a visualization that could make it simpler, where when you would add a block, you have different types of blocks. So in here, also for Urbe, this could be something that could be explored in some cool ways. Let's say you have a post, let's do an event, tonight, big party, who should DJ? Limone, or Limone? So it's like you would choose in this voting, for example, would be there. And more recently, we also transitioned to this SHA-CN-based design system, where it follows kind of the paradigm of atomic design, if you're familiar with it, where you have these components that you can bundle together into bigger and bigger functionalities. And this is kind of a way where you do not have to constantly reinvent the wheel. And if someone already built something that's useful for you, let's say you need something like a crypto ticker to see the ETH price or whatever, you already have some, you take it, you use it. Or if you need something else, maybe you don't have a graph to display that, or you don't have something in particular. If you build that, you can feel that warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest, knowing that you did something that will help not only you, but a community of other people building on top of that moving forward. And this is just to encourage you, the next time when you visit this is the white theme, you also have the dark theme, where you saw in the mobile designs, that you do not have to look at this as something that's done. So this is the staging version. You can visit, beware, be bugs, be dragons, things might not load, especially now Ceramic is going through some kind of a breaking change, how it is. Refresh if things are not loading the first time. But this is just a starting point, and every single area here that you see, for example, the widgets on the right. This could be something that, for example, would show the next event, or a thing to RSVP to the next event, or a poll, ongoing poll, or a crowdfunding thing with a target for whatever you need, on the left side as well, you can have many extensions. And something else which I'd like to point your attention to, you have the buttons there, or the where you can have on your post card. So here you have on the, let's say, no what ifs, let's say the first post there, and you see that you have just the icon for comments. Some people were asking, hey, where's the heart? Where's the like? Where's the star? And part of that is that we left this type of interaction also something that can be designed, because the like button was introduced by Facebook way, way back as not to make the world a better place and all that, but to collect even more data about you. What do you like, how to serve better ads, how to make more money, and so on and so forth. So then, you have reactions and all of this. You can rest assured that most likely they did not have your best interest at heart, although sometimes you might get things that are useful, but that was not the main intent. So now, thinking in a new paradigm with the new tools and the new ways in which we can also exchange wealth and knowledge at light speed, we could also maybe come up with a better way, what that like button equivalent would mean in a Web3 world. Is it some kind of like you split a piece of the pie from the staking revenue that you direct to the authors that you like? Would there be some kind of incentivization model built into the platform itself, rewarding the people that make contributions on the platform? You come up with the use cases. The idea is that this layer is also open to experimentation, and this is the beauty of having this modular approach where you can experiment and really come up with something cool that sets new models in motion. And coming back to this, years later, the Mr. Bean waiting there on the grass, we can take another look here as well. So you have, for example, people, part of the hub, configuration, certain skills. I'm a programmer, I'm a designer, I'm a lawyer, etc., whatever comes into play, and how we can make the most of the synergies between all of the hubs. Because, what's cooler than a hub? A hub network. So in here, it's like 1 is cool, 2 is nice, but 3 is a party. Right? Was it? Or 2 is a party? Well, you can make a party with 2 people as well, I guess. Or you by yourself. But it's usually more fun with more people. And in this case, it's going to be more fun with more hubs. And in a similar fashion, there are some things. I will not talk too much because I will let this to be said by others. But you can imagine a network of hubs where there is already something in Spain. There's going to be something in Rome. Italy, maybe the first out of many, because you said the first hub, Web3, right, in Italy. Maybe there's going to be something in Milan and other cities, who knows. And similarly, Romania is there on the map, hopefully soon. Then there's also Switzerland, Ireland. There are many places. So then you can think of this vision where you would have a network of hubs, similar to how you already have Fab Labs and like hacker houses all around the world, where you could also make this journey, right? So as you said, you are going in, I don't know, Lisbon, or you are going somewhere in Tokyo or so. That would be a nice way in which people can meet, and that coffee shop renaissance, meeting the right people at the right time in the right place can happen. So we systematize that and bring the power of Ethereum back to also its roots, the people, the community, and this is what makes Ethereum even greater than the technology, in my opinion. So I would just like to end on this thing, like, okay, no, flash from the past, where I was talking about this crypto renaissance, and I think we are there, like 10 years and a bit later, it's happening, and the idea was that the unfettered peer-to-peer worldwide digital finance grid is building itself out. This was also kind of cool, Bitcoin inception, using crypto to build the crypto, next crypto, going kind of like meeting at the Barcelona hub to discuss about making the new hub, kind of following a similar storyline. And the bottom line is that you make this possible, right? So technology is cool, smart contracts, awesome, AI agents, whatever you want, but I think still people are what makes this cool. And the question is here, what will you build, right? So I think in this case, with the Urbe Hub and the particular skill set that you guys have as a highly technical community are going to be very exciting to see flourish. And your cool people, cool ideas, cool technologies at your fingertips. I'm very enthusiastic about what will come out of this collaboration moving forward, what will come up out of the hub network that will then build on top of this. And you can think, like an image here. From the beginning with the Akasha Barcelona hub, we were, it's not the first hub. I mean, there are many communities that do this sort of stuff. For example, the Fab Labs, if you're familiar with it, where they do 3D printing, manufacturing, and part of that idea was that let's start a hub that has the materials that would allow another hub to be started from it. So as part of this, you know, kind of like with Barcelona, was also like, if we can inspire other people to start their own hubs, so I think, you know, Urbe Hub would also be a cool kind of a seed that could take over, you know, in Italy and all the other communities, because just as you went to Barcelona and then you left there, it's like, man, would it be cool to have something like this there? Maybe someone will come here and then they will carry it forward in another place. And with all the things and the tools and the extensions and things that we would also build together for making the digital counterpart, to make it easier to organize events and organize the hub, then I think you would have almost like a click and deploy version of a community where you can organize things and, you know, take it to the next level. So thank you for your attention. Let's do this. Exciting times, and thank you very much.